In this generation, people are avoiding relationships a lot. And I do understand it. It's such a high risk with a really low emotional return. Like, you have a lot of people who are expecting a lot, like the expectations are pretty high, but the options are pretty low.
Okay, wait, I'm so pissed off. I just got home from a date. The guy walked out literally 10 minutes into our date. So we matched on Hinge, and I have really good photos of myself on Hinge. A few of them are AI generated. They look...
Why? And like the fact that she is admitting this, but she is starting the video with he left after 10 minutes and you wonder why? Sweetie, like, you already gave us the answer. It is so simple. Why are you using AI generated videos pictures of yourself where people are like literally seeing you for the first time ever?
Look exactly like me.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. I feel like if you weren't trying to misrepresent something about your appearance, you wouldn't be using AI.
While we were out on our coffee / walking date, within like the first 15 minutes, he asked me where one of my photos was taken. I'm not a liar, so I said that it was an AI generated photo. And he said, yeah, I don't think we're a match. And he left. He left. That seems so dramatic to me. And also, like, everyone is using AI generated photos. If they look like you, who cares?
See, like, this is the problem. When you are trying to compare with other people and saying everyone is using it and I need to like up my game and be on their level because my normal natural pictures are nothing like the AI perfect image of someone else. And then you expect what? A normal date with a guy who, like, honestly, if there is a guy who believes that these AI pictures are real and is on a date with me, I would be like, nah, man, how can you even fall for that? Like, what kind of a person, how dumb could you be and how blind could you be to even think that this is a real person? You can clearly see it's AI.
The ones I use with Dream Lens look exactly like me. They're not like the crap.
If it was exactly like you, then you would have used your own picture. You would maybe pose like that, found like a photographer or a better camera and took that picture yourself and uploaded the picture of yourself, not of an AI.
ChatGPT ones. So what is the difference? Who cares? I don't know. If you're a straight man, let me know. What do you think?
You've got to be kidding me. You're gaslighting, right? It's
Definitely.
Easy to see why the guy was mad. The most noticeable thing that it got rid of was your acne. Less noticeable to guys, but her hair looks super dry and frizzy in real life compared to the AI photo. And last, I think the most important one, is that it removed wrinkles that are here, 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 and here, which makes you look several years younger than you actually are. But you know...
Like, yes, it's subtle. It's still her. I get it. I get what she sees in that. But today people have been using so many filters that they don't even know how they really look like in real life. I feel like they kind of delusioned themselves into believing that they look like the picture of an AI. And now she says like it's not the same. He literally called out every single thing. Yeah, it's minimal, it's small, but it might be enough because it does show that you're older than you are representing. Maybe you don't take care of your hair the way it looks like there, you know?
What? Good. I love the idea of women using AI photos on dating apps because the more severe the catfish, the more people will stop trying to find relationships on their phone. These apps are cancer.
True.
They're like if mobile game companies took over the relationship market. Anyway, it's been a while on this channel, so I thought we'd check back in with modern internet dating and see how it's going.
And ladies, even men who went to Harvard Business School are losers. I just went on a first date with a man. He picked a restaurant. I knew that this restaurant was a happening restaurant, but he picked it and he went to Harvard. I thought that he knew to see if he was gonna need a reservation. He went to Harvard.
If you don't think this is a made-up story for TikTok femcels, then you're an idiot. I believe this person more than I believe her.
I got catcalled twice on this walk.
No, you didn't.
This guy, he was 37-year-old and he was like, I have been looking for the love of my life, my half person, my soulmate for the last 37 years of my life, which is actually really weird. You were looking at someone when you were 1 year old, but okay, fine, never mind. And then he says, well, I finally found her in me. And he transgendered into the woman he wanted to find for himself. And now she, I don't know, is happy.
TikTok as a whole, especially the dating meta, is literally just the Arthur meme.
How do you know if any of this stuff is true?
You mean just lie?
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
That shit is so hilarious, and no matter how many times I watch this, it progressively gets funnier every year.
I just mean that some of the details.
Oh, I never thought of that. This is terrible. What if none of it's true? What if they're all lying? How would we ever know?
This actually is the equivalent of like applying for a job and actually lying about things. And I know that people exaggerate, and exaggeration is one thing, like you sell yourself by exaggerating, but to actually lie about things that you attended or degrees that you have when you don't have them, that's a crime. And there are people who do that, and they are just waiting for themselves to be caught one day or maybe never. Either way, they do that for a job application, and now they do it for relationships as well.
I only knew how many social media influencers would base their entire careers off of telling incredibly obvious lies that people are too stupid to recognize. I mean, how many men are taking dating advice on women from guys who are obviously in the closet, and how many women are taking pointers from other women who are obviously prostitutes? I can't believe we still have women saying—
I don't like that he actually said that while showing this woman exactly, because I don't think she's a prostitute.
Shit like this after relationship guru the wizard Liz got cheated on by a Pokimane simp.
My husband loves me for simply existing.
How do you and your husband split finances?
We don't. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
And I just think now, like, people are like, oh, that's gold digging, or that's something. No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
What is
yeah,
it?
for
Okay.
gold.
Holy shit, this chick is married.
And she's like, yes, then I am digging for gold. She's actually admitting it, and it is completely fine. There is no shame in it, apparently. The guy is completely fine for his girl to call him out like that, to be like, yes, I am using him, ha ha ha. He's the dumb one, ha ha ha. Like, is he even a man? Is he even watching this? Does he have any type of respect towards himself to even allow his woman to go around talking like that? Come on. You are not a human. You are not a human. This is such a villainous thing.
Married. Well, ultimately, I blame the man in this situation because
Yeah.
as bad as all the catfishing and TikTok advice is,
Them
it's not
allowing
nearly
it.
as problematic as the people who willingly choose the wrong partners, despite everyone trying to warn them.
Exactly.
However, it is entertaining to watch them double down publicly, especially if I don't like them, so let's talk about it. The woman you just saw is Jesslyn Singh. She's the wife of an Indian stand-up comedian named Akash, and she has a podcast and
Oh my God. And he's a public figure with an actual public image that he needs to keep.
a TikTok account where she started cannibalizing the career of her husband for views by openly talking about what a degenerate she is.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best life in
5
these
years.
white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
So lesson number
There is no way you are married and you are saying stuff like that. Like, okay, you did it in college, but the past is the past. Keep it to yourself. What are you doing? Why are you shaming your husband like that? How do they not understand? Like, if you're a wife, you also represent your husband. Everything you say, the way you are dressed, the way you are behaving, it all reflects or mirrors who your husband is. So if you don't have any respect towards him, you are going to be this person. So how bad of a person can you be?
number one of the internet is to keep your mouth shut. Everyone should treat the internet like a police encounter instead of like a therapist. Anything you say can and will be used against you by your enemies, especially if your husband is in a male-centered space like a comedy podcast. Akash, did you not sit your wife down and tell her that it's a bad idea to talk about how promiscuous she was in college? Clearly he didn't, because that's not even the worst thing that she did.
He's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
How many
Dean
do we
Thomas
get?
from the Harry Potter movies.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband?
Wasn't that a
Yeah,
child?
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card.
Dude, what is with these podcasts nowadays? I feel like it all started with Vanderpump Rules. With all of these reality shows and all of these people thinking that this is completely normal and like we cheat around, it is normal, it is for a show, you know, it's like, you think this is for a show. You think you are like bringing the juice, bringing the drama into this podcast, raising the views and the likes, dislikes, whatever, the drama, as I said. But at the end of the day, do you even understand what you're doing? You're a grown-ass person. Do you understand what you're saying and who are the people who are listening to you and who you are actually influencing by the things you are saying?
Always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy. And that's why I'm actively trying to have a orgy.
He's there. The husband is sitting and listening to her actually talking to the other guy like that. And yes, we can all play it as jokes, right? We can all play it for the show. She's joking. She's not being serious. But is she really joking? That's the question.
This is a divorce moment right here. If my wife told me that she wanted to have sex with her best friend's husband,
Look,
said
he
it
looks
numerous times on the
miserable. Look at him.
podcast, and then brought me on to talk about it while she
comedian?
flirts with that guy right in
looks
front
so
of me,
sad.
I would be calling my lawyer and drafting up papers. Now, for all the
Yeah.
people saying that these situations are just random and you can never tell if a woman will treat you like this in the future, know that people always show signs that they aren't worth marrying if you wait a little bit before making a commitment. This one was obviously a bad idea. Her and her friend's entire personalities are TikTok.
Like,
But also, like, you don't need to wait a lot. Meet the friends. Put her in her comfortable environment and see how she acts. All right, meet the parents and ask the appropriate questions before marrying someone. What the future looks like. Do you want kids? Where do you see yourself living? What do you see yourself doing? Like appropriate questions that are important to you and to your future. As a comedian yourself, as a person with a career, give hypotheticals. What if I become this, this, and that? What would you do? How would you act? What would you say? What would you think? Like, let's play games like that. Why is it difficult for people to communicate and have an actual normal conversation that is impactful with information for your future?
you don't have to justify your presence as, you know, wanting to be in your divine feminine energy and staying at home and not having as much stress.
I didn't wish her a happy across
month?
her happy birth month.
Nah,
happy birth week.
Gotta stop.
Happy birthday Eve.
Eve today. He didn't wish me happy birthday.
Happy
Eve.
birthday Eve.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm sorry. I don't like to swear. We are bringing a happy birthday Eve and we are making it a thing? Bro, not even your parents made. Do you know what your mom did on her birthday Eve? Thinking about the thinking about the contractions. English be like. Thinking about the contractions that she had to go through before going to the hospital. We're gonna celebrate that. Okay.
Eve?
Yes.
That was like watching a horror film. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but there comes a point where you have to be honest about your situation and do what's necessary. But of course, they didn't do that, which is why this is entertainment. So Akash and his wife started going viral because of clips like this, and I have to say that this is a no-win situation for these two. They screwed up badly, and the only thing they can do is shut up and wait 2 weeks for everyone to forget about it. Because the reality was that most of Akash's fans didn't know about any of this, and it was just drama YouTubers making fun of them, so they could have just stayed quiet. But instead of being smart and keeping the hate isolated to people who don't even watch them, they decide to do a podcast where Akash looks super uncomfortable the whole time, and we are assured that everything that Jesleen said was just a misunderstanding.
The repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like two guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time.
There is no way she went on a show to explain herself in front of these guys that are gonna eat her alive. They're not gonna deal with the BS. There is no way she did that. I would rather go to court in front of a judge.
That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant make.
I'm sorry, this is so difficult for me to watch because I see the anger in him and him trying to fix his reputation. And she apologetically came to the conclusion that this is the best for their marriage. So she's trying as well, which is also respectful, kind of. But The damage has been done, sweetie, and you're not digging yourself out of that hole. You are maybe digging it a bit deeper with this, especially that now I don't have respect towards him as well for like even talking about it publicly like this, you know? Keep it to yourself, as the guy said.
Freaking out again. Like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Let me just say, as a person who uses Twitter, I don't think saying that you're Indian as an excuse for your behavior is going to make people trust you.
No.
But I have IBS. There's no way.
No. What does that even mean? I was born in Jordan. I lived there for 13 years. Like, are we going to say like, oh, oppressed, and now I live in Europe and I'm a different person, and now I can say, hey, I'm doing everything here because went to Europe, I got westernized, you know, like it's a different culture, it's a different society, tradition. No, morals are morals. You either are born with them, bring them with you, live through them, and figure out who you are or not. But you don't make them as an excuse. You don't make all of these things as an excuse to misbehave. Like, you could even bring tragic stuff that happened into your life and bad things that happened in your life to make them as an excuse to do really bad stuff.
I do have IBS.
Indian food's never going to beat the allegations. So Jasleen is claiming that she's innocent and was a virgin until she met Akash, but I don't believe her at all.
Now she's a virgin?
If you listen to both episode 6 and episode 7 of her podcast, it's apparent that she's had sexual contact with multiple men, even saying that being good at oral is a green flag. How would she know how to judge that if she's only been with one person? Best case scenario is that she's trying to misrepresent herself on the lines of technically being a virgin because she didn't have vaginal intercourse. Though I don't believe her on that either.
Oh my God.
Because
they do that. The thing is that they do that in countries where it is a virgin is someone who's really, how to explain it. So basically when they want to get married, if they are a virgin, they will get married really well. In those countries, it is really important to be a virgin. So what they do is actually they take it the other way around. Take it from a different place. So they keep their virginity. But does that mean that they are a virgin? No, they're not. You know? So it is really shameful. And not only that, there are people who make operations to become virgin again so they can lie and get married well.
Push your close friends into group sex is not the move of someone who has only had sex with one person. Neither is wearing incredibly revealing clothing on Instagram. So there's no way she didn't understand American cultural norms like the meaning of hooking up as the wife of someone who used to be on a show called Guy Code where they talked about stuff like that. Also, the prostitute philosophy about how a guy should value you just for existing around him doesn't make her look innocent either.
God, yeah.
This entire podcast just makes Jasleen look worse, and it makes Akash look like a loser. Right here was probably the most telling moment for me.
You're cool with him just getting a hand job massage?
Totally.
Are you
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I've said that it's less work for me.
I don't.
Can you talk to our wives?
Hold on, I don't believe this. Can I tell you why I don't believe this? You remember Horrible Decisions?
Yeah.
You guys were like, dude, I think your girl will be down. We should keep saying how pretty Wheezy is. And I was like, even then, I was like, no, the fuck. She's all talk. She's all bluster. That's why I haven't tested the hand
A
job
paper tiger.
She's our dog. She's a yapping little dog behind a fence.
I'm guessing she thinks that this is like a 4D chess move to cover up for the fact that she wants to cheat. She's only saying it's okay for him to do it because, for one, she knows that he won't. And because, two, if she does cheat, she can say, well, yeah, but I said that you could do it if you wanted to. Nobody who actually loves you and is emotionally connected would allow a hall pass.
No.
This is one of those moments where a really bad person is trying to LARP as a good person, but doesn't actually know what a good person would say in that moment. So anything she says just further exposes her. The correct move was to apologize to her husband, ignore the haters, never bring this up again, and stop oversharing and treating the internet like your therapist.
Stop with
also,
that podcast.
Akash, you're on the road a
on.
lot as a comedian. I would not trust this chick to be faithful when you aren't around. Because when it comes to people like Jasleen, I think the reality is that they actually despise the person that they're with, which is why she treats them poorly and can't help but say inappropriate stuff. I think a part of the gaslight from Akash on this is that Jasleen, slept on the floor with him one time when he was broke, but also they broke up when he was broke, and she mysteriously got back together with him right around the time that he started making money again, which is suspicious considering all the gold digger ideology that comes out of her mouth. However, no matter how ride or die she was in the past, I don't think that justifies her present treatment of her significant other. Now, they haven't had any drama since, as far as I've seen, and her podcast appears to have been canceled, so hopefully Akash and his wife have learned their lesson. But speaking of people who are much further down the line of publicly displaying how unhealthy their relationship dynamic is, Allow me to introduce you to Anissa Joma and her husband, Ian Joma,
Oh,
formerly known as
no.
Ian Washburn.
The only reason why we chose my name over his last name is because his last name is like just objectively ugly. It's just like an ugly last name. Like,
Seriously? Are you trying to tell me that he changed his last name after they got married?
Washburn sounds horrendous.
In the past, you might have recognized Anissa as the prostitute Twitch streamer girlfriend of the once popular creator iDubbbz, who was famous for doing a creator deep dive series.
Yeah, man, iDubbbz fell hard. He was back then like really funny and entertaining, and he has like a completely like different and special kind of content creation, and you either love it or you hate it. You're like, this is cringe. I loved it. It was like, it was so shocking. And yeah, I had respect for him back then. Not real respect, but like respect for the hustle. And now not anymore.
It's called Content Cop that was very well liked by a huge portion of the internet. But in more recent years, it's become obvious that she wears the pants in the relationship, and therefore she has graduated from being called iDubbbz's girlfriend and earned herself her own name.
Can we chill on like asking if Ian's here or whatever? Like, I get it's funny or whatever, but I've spent like the past 4 years living in his shadow, so to speak, and like I've been trying to do my own thing on the internet for 7 years before I even met him, and it is painful. I'd rather have 5 people want to be here for me than like a bunch asking for Ian. Thanks.
Congrats, Anissa. Now you're the star. Talking about you now draws far more interest than talking about iDubbbz. You made it, and all you had to do was taint the career of your husband.
It's so funny that it's still like when people are making these videos, they don't call her by her name. They say iDubbbz's wife.
So that it would be easy for you to outshine him. Personally, I think this is the move of a true anti-capitalist.
I'm more extreme than Ian, where I'm like pretty anti-capitalist. I hate landlords.
Now, for those of you who have jobs and don't have time to keep up with all the iDubbbz drama over the past 5 years, basically what happened is that iDubbbz, or Ian, got into a relationship with Anissa. Anissa has always wanted to be a popular streamer, but she's untalented, so she's jealous of the success of her husband. Because she's jealous, instead of being happy for her partner's success, she constantly sabotages his career by publicly shaming him, and instead of getting rid of this girl who obviously doesn't love him, Ian defends her,
Terrible.
and even more damning in terms of social media, he stopped making content that people like. Now, like I said with Jesseline, the blackpilling part of this is that oftentimes in these cases, people just see the end result and make claims that you can never tell if your partner will end up like this or not. But the reality is that girls like Anissa and Jesseline always show signs that they will become like this in the future early on in the relationship. In Anissa's case, it was day one.
2016 would also be the year Anissa would begin her relationship with the once popular YouTuber, iDubbbz. This relationship started out as all healthy ones do, with Anissa cheating on her ex-boyfriend in order to be with Ian. That's
The irony, bro. Yeah, all healthy relationships. Exactly, yeah. Starting from cheating, and then you expect it's not gonna happen to me. She loves me way more. I am more special. Sure, buddy. Until one day.
right. Before Anissa and Ian began dating, Anissa was in an active relationship with another League of Legends streamer named Acadian. Anissa and Acadian began dating around late 2015, and this relationship lasted until the first day Anissa would meet Ian.
I don't know how you can see this as a man and be like, yeah, she definitely won't treat me like that, right? And when I say this, understand that Anissa started treating Ian like shit very early on. They got together in 2016, and in 2017, she was already being incredibly inappropriate with a YouTuber named Chris Raygun, who was also in a relationship with someone else at the time.
Anissa being attracted to other men is a common trope when she's in a relationship. Another man Anissa had a crush on around this time was named Chris Raygun. Anissa would also show her romantic interest on Chris on Twitter, where she tweeted out a shirtless photo of him.
There is no way. You are in a relationship with another guy and you are tweeting out a shirtless guy like this and writing that with these like emojis and wet and stuff. Like, if even I wasn't in a relationship, being single, I would not do that. It's inappropriate, let alone being with someone.
With the caption full of thirsting and squirt emojis.
You know, personally, I think it's inappropriate to publicly post about your celebrity crushes when you're in a relationship, but I can look past that because it's like a fantasy. However, in Anissa's case, her celebrity crush that she is openly fangirling over while she's in a relationship with iDubbbz is someone she regularly interacts with. And really, I think the breaking point for Ian Joma was around 5 years ago when Anissa, opened up an OnlyFans account, he got backlash and was like, actually, I'm okay with being a cuck.
For those of you who are unaware of the drama I recently brought upon myself, I'll fill you in. My girlfriend started an OnlyFans account, which is a website where you can upload amateur porn. I think all of it is cool. I'm okay with sex workers and girls being slutty. It has no bearing on my life whatsoever.
As someone who watched this video the day it came out...
Yeah, and it's okay. I guess it's fine for majority of men when there are people they don't know. Right? Like, you respect them if they are doing their own thing, living their own life. But would you really want them as your wife, as the mother of your children? Like, that's the question. And if you are okay with that, it makes me wonder who you are as a person and what are your values. And would I even want to be 1 meter close to you, in your proximity at all, if I want to even see you on my screen anymore? Like, these are the things. It's not all right.
I love watching it 5 years later, knowing that this decision had such a huge effect on Ian's life that he's now so poor that he streams on the ground. I hope that in the current year, we've all started to see how toxic these open-minded beliefs are. It turns out that traditional values and prejudices were correct the whole time. Now, normally I would say this is sad, but iDubbbz is such a backstabbing POS that I enjoy every clip I see of Anissa shaming him.
If I look at you, even in like the
because of the
viewfinder,
Ethan
extremely masculine chin, which is also why I like the buzz cut, because it like emphasizes your chin and your like heavy brow. Like, I would argue you have one of the most... Part of the reason why I don't want to have a child with you is because I'm terrified if we have a girl that she's going to have all your masculine features.
She just tell him, like, I don't want to have kids with you because I don't want them to look like you.
Isn't that interesting? I think about that a lot.
Yeah. I have never met somebody
because like she
who
can't
has
wax
such an
her brows
eagle
or whatever.
face. Like, you have a very strong brow, which is very attractive on men. To be honest, there's a lot of attractive women that have that as well, like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
But combined with me, I think the combination would be bad for a woman.
I think you're tripping.
I don't know.
Holy shit, never in my best dreams would I have imagined a clip as great as iDubbbz looking like he's expressing interest in having kids towards the end, but Anissa says she thinks he's too ugly. I wonder if she would have said that about Chris Ray Gun.
I actually don't think there's a world
where I appeal to straight women.
You could appeal to straight
You know what?
women.
I think you're right. Someone said, is there a look that appeals to everyone?
Hassan Abi appeals to everyone.
Oh my God. I will never get people who think it's okay to publicly shame their partner. For one, the more you shame your partner, the worse it makes you look because you're the one stupid enough to be with a loser.
To be with him.
And two, in my opinion, this is a breakup move. It would be an argument the first time it happened, and then it would be the end of the relationship if the behavior were repeated. Because your job...
And like the sad part about it, it's like if you are iDubbbz and she says that about Hassan, would you not wonder if Hassan showed any interest towards her, would she end up with him and choose him instead of you? And how does that really make you feel to know that she would choose him or anyone else looking like him, not you? Where is the love there, right? What is going on, man?
As a significant other is to be your partner's biggest cheerleader when it comes to how they're seen in public. And if they aren't doing that, then in my opinion, they're trash. Not to say that people can't communicate with friends and family to process difficult parts of the relationship, but if your wife is just unnecessarily shitting on you in public constantly, then that's a sign that you need to get rid of this person.
This is a great Anissa moment. You know her eternal quest to humiliate him? So this is a new chapter.
I don't know if chat can back me up. No. AFABs, gay men, whatever. The bigger the dick, the worse it's sex. Like a lot of men that have...
Just the premise alone, he's trapped. he's trapped from the beginning. Either he
has big one and he's bad at sex, or he has a small one and she's fine with it. Literally, she trapped him.
Is bad at sex, or B has a tiny penis. There's no escape.
I don't know if chat can back me up.
Nope. Back me up, chat.
Again, this would be really sad if iDubbbz weren't a terrible person. I mean, Anissa just has professional levels of spite for her husband.
For each other, yeah.
There are multiple levels here. First, there's no correct answer here. There's just a less bad one. And two, you get to hear about your partner having sex with other men. She's flaunting her sexual experience publicly while iDubbbz doesn't have any outside of his wife because Anissa is his first girlfriend. And you know what? Everyone's got to start somewhere, and certainly it's better than being used up. So I don't blame him.
This is why I say in my opinion, once like you are on the legal age, go out and try to date. Don't like have just sexual stuff, but like actually try to have relationships with people. Because even it doesn't have to be like the most serious one, but like just have relationships. Because I noticed that guys and women who don't have any type of experience until they reach their 30s or 28, 20, 27 years, they really choose the wrong people. Like they don't know how to choose the right people. They always end up with people that are narcissistic, egotistical, and they cannot figure it out. They cannot read between the lines. They cannot, because they didn't have any experience before. And that's why we say the older, the wiser. Why? Because of life, because of age, because of experiences that you had with different people, you know? So you kind of can read people because you already have been in these situations before. And if people don't do that and they keep to themselves and they wait too long, they will end up a lot of times used or abused by someone narcissistic or egotistical or whatever.
That. But the part where I lose respect is the part where he just lets this chick walk all over him.
I've met Ian. I've talked to Ian. I've seen his content over the years. Ian is an asshole, but he's also a very passive, live and let live, kind of easygoing guy. He's not a confrontational, aggressive, hostile person. His girlfriend, though, I think absolutely is. I can guarantee you that whenever there's a conflict, she's the one getting mad and he's the one saying like, bro, like, stop. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this, right? And
I mean,
so,
in a lot of cases, it's like the men who don't want to deal with it, you know? It's a lot of cases it's like that. The women are the one who yap a lot. But yeah, I can see what he means here. I can see it.
That's, I think, kind of what happened. If you've ever been in a relationship with a really domineering, aggressive, hostile person like Anissa seems to be, you would know how much that kind of puts your entire mind into like a brain fog. You're in survival mode. Exactly. You're constantly in fight or flight around this person. And you also like them, but there's this element of them that's like extremely mercurial, aggressive, and seemingly so in a random way. That to me sucks the life force out of a person so fast it is insane.
This is probably true. Actually, allow me to add nuance because I don't think iDubbbz sees it like this. I think if you asked him, he would say he does stand up for himself. But the problem is that it doesn't work.
Like, as our relationship went on, I share a lot. He's wanted me to share less. I've wanted him to share more. We've started to meet in the middle.
Yeah, so they probably have talked about Anissa making him look bad numerous times, but she knows he's not brave enough to do something like leave her, and because there's no threat of negative consequences, it just falls on deaf ears. Instead, she does whatever she wants and continues to treat the internet like her therapist by oversharing, which...
Oh no, because she knows she can get with it. Like she knows exactly what she's doing, and because she knows he loves her, she can get with it. And I dislike her because of that, because she actively, like, she knows what she is doing. It's not like, oh, she has no idea that this is the way or the dynamic in the relationship. She 100% knows what she's doing. But I am sad for him because he's in love and he's kind of blind. Even if people around him are telling him these type of things, he doesn't see it that way, because in the intimate relationship that they have, she's acting kind of differently in some types or some examples in some ways that the other people or others don't know about.
Further adds to the pile of public blackmail against iDubbbz. All of this makes me think about a book I read called Good to Great. It's a book about how good businesses transition into becoming the top businesses. So it's about companies, but if you're smart, the ideas are universally applicable. One such universally applicable idea comes from Chapter 3, where the research team for that book found out that it's not a well-written business plan or favorable market conditions that cause a business to become a top company and sustain their success. The most important thing for a successful business are the people in the room. Competent and good people are so important that it's not even worth it to develop a business plan until you have the right people in the room. This is very much something that was said a lot about the founder of Apple, Steve Jobs, and the biography that was written on him. He always wanted to be around A players and not the C or the D team.
I mean, that's exactly what they tell you. If you want to be a successful person, then you need to surround yourself with successful people. If you're going to be a loser, your people around you are going to be losers. So it's very important to choose who are your friends, who are your colleagues, who are the people who are around you, who you are engaging with, who you are doing business with. So all of this is very, very important. And I 100% agree with it. Even in relationships, like to choose a partner, what kind of a partner are you choosing?
Where I'm going with this is that it certainly is also true when it comes to relationships. Everyone thinks they can pull someone out of the bargain bin and mold them into the perfect partner, when the reality is that if someone's not already motivated to be great, you won't convince them. So if you're having long talks about how people need to change or be better and nothing ever changes or gets better, the correct answer is to not continue doing that. The answer is to go find someone who has already figured it out or is motivated to figure it out. Once you have found that person, the next step to a healthy relationship is to not demotivate them by falling into your bad habits. As for your exes, don't feel bad about breaking off the relationship because for the most part, if someone is resistant to change, then the only way they're going to learn is through suffering and loss. And by shielding them from that, you're only prolonging their mediocrity. Last, the book says that if you can't find the right person for the position, then keep looking. The wrong people are so disastrous that it's better that no one fill the role than to have it filled with the wrong person. I know looking can be frustrating, but taking anyone who applies, or if you're an employee, going with any company who will have you because you're desperate is how you get into a situation like iDubbbz or Akash, who, from the looks of it, are really just holding on to their partners because they're the first person who paid attention to them, and they're too weak to break up to find someone who is a better fit.
Not only that, like, it's also they fell in love with them, maybe they think that's the best they can do, or they got manipulated into that relationship as well because the people that they represented themselves at the start were not the real deal, right? And then they fell for it. They fell for this representation at the start. They hired them, and then it turns out they're not what they represented, but now their heart is in it. So it's very difficult to disattach that.
It's sad to watch. Well, Akash is sad to watch. Fuck iDubbbz. I hope Anissa and her husband never get divorced so they can serve as a warning to other people who might make similar relationship decisions. It's good to have a public example of the type of relationship that you're trying to avoid as you search for the ideal one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
You know what also it's very important? Like, it could be like Anissa, for example, could be an ass of a person towards iDubbbz, but she also could be a really good person towards someone else. Not everyone is 100% bad or 100% good. But at the end of the day, it depends on the other person and what do you expect, or how you respect yourself and what do you expect from other people, right? So at the start of the relationship, if iDubbbz didn't like let go here and there or let her have her way, maybe she wouldn't be that way anymore. You know, maybe she would have molded into something else or tried a bit more or just figured out things by herself. So it is very important to like have respect to yourself as well and be the version of yourself that you want to be and what you want others to be, the person that you want other people to treat nice and respectful. And it's so important to set boundaries at the start of a relationship and to let the other person know how you want to be treated. So if he did that at the start, maybe this relationship would have looked differently. It doesn't have to be it's another person that he needed to be with, maybe it's the same person, but to set those boundaries really early is very important. But yeah, that is it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me, disagree, if you have anything else to share. I love to read your comments, guys, and any type of engagement on this video is really appreciated. And if you want more content, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/supportbunny. I will leave a link in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day and see you next time. Bye.